You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Derrial Christon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I'm your host, Derrial Christon, and here joining me today is Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody?
DJ Jesse J.
What's up?
And our very special guest today, he's like family at this network, actually. He was one of the first guests that we interviewed at Black Hollywood Live.
Yeah.
The phenomenal actor, Jay Ellis, is with us today.
Welcome.
What's up, man?
I appreciate. I feel like I just ran through the tunnel right now. Like I just got that.
You got wished in, right? Right? It was the football game.
It's like whenever we see him at like an event, it's just like smiles. It's like, Jay!
I know, right?
Fuck everyone else! Jay's here!
Right. You're like a homecoming king of Black Hollywood Live.
I love it.
And it's so positive because
so true.
he'll always be like, wow, you're styling. I look in a hot mess. So,
You feel like that's a hot mess?
me.
I mean, I
can
can understand right now, but I mean when we be out. My bad. I shot.
that time was
shot fire for no
that
reason.
time it was.
That was funny. That was good. That was good. Well, we got a fun show today. We got a lot of topics. We're going to talk about everything Jay Ellis later on in the show. But first, we got updates on the Spring Valley Assault viral video. I'm sure everybody saw that, which is super crazy.
Ooh, Lord.
We got an ex-boxer who claims that he was drugged before doing gay porn.
Y'all just don't know.
We also got Russell Simmons we're going to talk about in his Rush card, and people are really upset about what happened this week with the Rush card. But first, we're going to read the results from last week's buzzer meter question, which was Ebony wrong for the Cosby cover? You guys voted. 67% of you said yes, and 33% of you said no. Jay, did you see the Ebony cover?
No, I want to see it. Can we?
So it shows Bill Cosby, Felicia Rashad, Lisa Bonet, Malcolm Jamal Warner,
The whole
and
Cosby.
It's an old
except
it's the
for
cast of the Cosby
except
Show.
for the older sister.
Except for Sandra. It's an
And
old
it
pic.
basically talks about, it has a shattered glass across Bill Cosby's face, and the glass is kind of spreading across the family, and it says basically, what is
It said the family issues.
The family issues, yeah. So it's going in on all the rape allegations and everything
people
with
are
Bill
saying
Cosby.
that they feel
Why
it
they
just
gotta bring the
should
Cosbys into
it
it?
just should have been Bill's face.
Right, a lot of people
versus,
think it just should have been Bill's face. So a lot of
Felicia didn't deserve that.
Felicia did not deserve
Agreed.
that. She should never have glass on her
Lisa
face.
Bonet. Have you ever seen Lisa Bonet? Ooh,
Yes,
man.
she still look good. Yes, she does.
And so does
Yes.
her man. They're
well.
just hot together.
No.
They're so good looking.
Are you gonna take that smile down?
I'm
Or?
sorry.
Right, I mean, I felt that smile from over here to where Jesse's sitting
You
over
just
there.
lit that
so.
joint up. If it
Right,
was
she
clouds
did.
outside, they
Because
not
we
that
all
much
know.
out.
Full sunshine.
I was about to hop in and brush your teeth.
Oh boy.
well, moving on.
We're moving on. But before we get into our trending topics, there's something I want to address that happened to one of our BHL hosts, Sam Sarpong. We have some terrible news that we had to share this week. He unfortunately passed away, and we want to have a moment of silence for Sam because he hosted our Black Hollywood Live fashion show 411. Sam was just part of the family, and he's going to be truly missed. So we definitely want to acknowledge our condolences and all of our hearts to his family. And we feel terrible about everything that happened with him this week. But we want to have that moment of silence for Black Hollywood Live to celebrate Sam and everything that he contributed to the network. So we're going to take about 10 seconds and just, have that moment for Sam. All right, thank you all for bearing with us on that. We have a picture of Sam here, and if you want to, tweet anything about Sam, if you've met him, you know that he was just a big sunshine. So let us know your thoughts about him. Support of everybody. So he will be truly missed. But we're going to move on to our show now with our trending topics with DJ Jesse J.
So on a little lighter note, Star Wars is coming out.
Yes.
And what a great way for George Lucas to, promote his movie by donating some money to USC. He donated $10 million to USC's film school to help African African Americans and Hispanic storytellers come up in the college. This is a part of a $175 million pledge that he's made to the school, so it'll be in different increments. Now, he says him and his wife are privileged to be able to do this, and he wants to see, a more diverse behind-the-scene culture growing up. But the thing about it is that people are kind of hating on him for this. They think that, wow, you're worth $5.1 billion and you're donating a measly $10 million. I'm like, where your pockets at?
Right.
People need to
Beggars
shut
can't
up.
be choosers.
So shout out to George Lucas for just...
It's still $10 million. Good God.
It's $175 million.
Oh, total.
Well, total $175 million.
But
Yeah.
This
yeah.
year's $10 million, like, damn.
And
How many people
By
can
the way,
that
he
know?
didn't have to pledge a
he
dollar.
didn't
That's
have
what
to
I'm
pledge
saying. There's so many who
anything.
don't,
And you
you
don't
know?
know what his other philanthropic commitments are. So overall, he could be investing $2 billion into just philanthropic things, and it isn't just one, which is
USC.
great.
That's all
one
this is.
small entity.
Yeah.
Just be
Whatever.
appreciative of what he gives.
Haters.
Now, when I first read the story, though, I can't even lie. I was thinking about what his wife, that was in the bedroom conversation. It was like, so George, I really need you
His
to.
wife being Melody Hobson.
Melody Hobson, yes, and he's like, who is an African American woman? He's like, so baby, I need you to give a little money to the Latinos and the blacks.
You think it was like
Where
that kind of a
was she at?
conversation?
No, I don't think it at all. I think he was like,
He
I can
understands
help.
the issues
He
now
knows
and
what I can
hears,
do,
he's
and he
like,
did it.
let's do it.
He
I like that. I
obviously
like that
supports
positive.
and loves the chocolate, so
He definitely loves the chocolate.
Love the chocolate
You don't-
and the caramels and
You don't
all
think
of
there
that.
was any conversation?
I think it's a little bedroom conversation.
I think that maybe.
And not to say that he can't still be a full, 100% supporter.
Absolutely,
of
that's not what I'm
equality.
saying.
I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously, you know
I'm not
going
going
to
to say that this specific was a specific conversation about give this money for Black and Latinos at the thing. I think maybe overall, even just his relationship probably has influenced his opinions in terms of his philanthropic endeavors, and maybe that just in general has affected his life.
I think she was like, George, you
She's
trying
like,
to get this tonight?
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Jay. That's what I'm saying.
Trying to get this away?
So
For
put
every
the
million,
on the line.
for every million, I will serve the board.
You want
Trying
to
to
try
get-
what?
yeah.
Okay, well, $10 million. You better
Yeah,
take that
yeah.
out that bank account
trying to
right
get
now.
this
No,
or
I'm
not?
just joking. I'm just
Seen
joking.
that
I'm
Beyonce
just
video,
playing.
right?
We're just happy that he gave the money to support
Absolutely.
the filmmakers, because that's the most important thing. So
Yes,
shout
it
out
is.
to
Oh my
shout out to
God.
George.
All right, well, on another note, there's been a viral video going around with the hashtag Spring Valley Assault. Now, did everyone get a chance to check this video out?
It's crazy.
It's kind of hard not
Crazy.
to.
So, the officer being Ben Fields, they're keeping the young girl's name quiet so that they can protect her. Apparently, she's in foster care. The stories going around about this is no one really knows what the story is. So originally it was that this girl had talked back to her teacher, and 3 people had tried to tell this girl to get out of the classroom. And she wouldn't move, so a police officer finally came in. He asked her for about 15 seconds. She didn't comply, and he ended up putting her in a headlock, throwing her across the room, and the video went viral. None of the kids were moving or saying nothing. And more kids started speaking afterwards. One kid came out by the name of Aaron something. He came out to say, we were in the classroom, and she's new to the school. She didn't say anything. She was really quiet. No one knows. We were all quiet in the video because we didn't understand what was happening or why this was going on. And apparently it came out that it all happened because she was chewing gum.
Wow.
Allegedly. All these stories are allegedly. But the police officer has been fired. The captain said that once the headlock was fine, but once he threw the girl across the room, you have taken the person out of your control. You're in no longer control, so that was excessive. That was what he thought was excessive about this. Everyone has something to say about
They
it.
sure do.
And Raven Simone, our favorite little, one of my favorite little View panelists, she came out to say that kids, well, because the other rumor was that she was on a cell phone and she wouldn't put the cell phone away.
Yeah.
And Raven said, "Kids, put your cell phone away." And people took that and said, "Well, wait, here's Raven promoting the way that the cop treated her," and that's not what Raven was doing. She was just saying, if you're in school, you shouldn't be on your phone and whatnot. She didn't really use it the best context, but I don't think Raven was really for the cop doing what he did. It was crazy. I really don't know I think it's just sitting down and talking to what the heck the teacher was doing, because I don't know. I was scared shitless out of my teachers.
Well, there's kind of two parts to this. Here's the thing. You know, Raven definitely sometimes puts her foot in her mouth with things that she says. But I think what she was trying to say, what I read was that she was saying that there's two sides to the story. She wasn't agreeing with what the cop did, because clearly what he did was excessive force. But she was saying for the student to follow the rules, because one of the rumors is the fact of that she was on her cell phone, talking on her cell phone. The teacher told her not to, to get off her cell phone. She wouldn't do it, and that's when the cop came in. So Raven was, what I thought what she was trying to say was, if you follow the rules, you wouldn't be in this situation overall, because if you had your cell phone down, you wouldn't be having this problem. Now, listen, that's what she was saying. I don't know if I agree. I don't agree with what the cop did at all, but that's what she said is kind of what her viewpoint was with it. Now, it's also interesting because there's a disturbing school law in that state that you were mentioning the teachers, that it's something with the law where the teachers really don't have a lot of rank with control over the students. They automatically have to call the cops. So it's a touchy subject overall because of the fact that there really was no control over with the teacher anyway, regardless. So
yeah. I mean, the conversation seems to be like, should the cop have even been there to begin with? Because people are like upset, like, why is there a cop in the school to begin with? And then there's teachers that are like, we are not allowed to do anything to these students. Like, so they don't have to have respect for us, and they don't have to do the things that we tell them to do, because we can't do anything to them to like penalize them. So I think the problem though is that everybody that's talking about it is putting two separate issues into one conversation. Right. And yes, the fact that she was misbehaving or not doing what she was supposed to do is not okay, but that's a separate conversation from what that cop did. So yes, he was called in and he was supposed to follow a certain procedure to get her out. I personally think that if he was going to physically do that to her, that classroom should have been removed, cleared out. The teacher should still be there because there should be somebody to watch.
Absolutely.
But like to attack her in that way in front of all those, I'm so not fine with that. Yeah. But to also then say, well, if she hadn't have been on her phone, then like that doesn't excuse an attack because she was doing wrong. So yes, we need to address what she's doing wrong and why the teachers aren't in a position to have any authority over students. But we also have to address that a cop should not be backflipping and dragging a child across the floor.
Or feel that comfortable to do that.
Like, I don't, whatever. And then everybody was like chiming in, he's not racist, he's got a black girlfriend, and he's not this. And I'm like,
what does he do to his black girlfriend?
I don't care. Like, why is this even a part of the conversation? He flipped a child over a desk and dragged her across the floor in front of 30 other students and 2 other adults who sat and watched. Yeah. Like, for whatever other problems this girl has, that probably only compounded them in another whole way. That's because now she has been publicly humiliated in a way that she may never get over. So yes, she was maybe not in the right for whatever she was doing, but we need to talk about her behavior as something separate than what he did, because what he did was not okay.
Well, her behavior, no one can even figure out what it was. I mean, was it that she was talking back to the teacher? Was it that she was on the phone? Was it that she was chewing gum? So it's like, well, let's fully take that. Who's making that
allegedly
up?
She hit him too.
In the video she hits him when he
after
smacked her over.
And there's 3 different videos that show 3 different things too. That's the problem. They need to get the real
He threw
story.
A damn little girl.
I mean, regardless, he threw her down, and the way he threw her down was just, if that was my daughter, I would go in there and go in on that cop. You know, he's been fired. But
the school gymnasium would be named after me.
And he has a history of abuse.
An attorney has been hired.
An attorney has been hired, and he was sued in 2007 for excessive force towards a couple. So and there were students were saying that he has he's like known for his
for being kind of rough with the students.
With the students. So
and I'm not, and I don't want to like pass it all off because I know what's going on in the schools right now.
Kids
so
are crazy.
It ain't no joke.
I wouldn't want to be a teacher right now.
I understand that it is a serious situation that needs to be addressed, but we can't let that be
how do you feel about cops in schools? Yes or no?
Yes.
I've always said no because I feel like it only elevates negative situations, because that kind of aggression, like that exists as a
just the uniform alone.
That in itself makes it another level of how you interact and how. But I understand why it exists, so I still can't go totally no. Plainclothes cops are maybe not such a bad idea, but think if he had a gun on him or like what, like I can't even, we got to do something else. We got to figure it out. There have been proven other ways to work with difficult students even if you're at a school with all difficult students, like there have been other schools have been able to figure out how to make it work without using police force in that way, because you criminalize the kids before they've even done anything because you got cops in the school. But I also get being a parent and not wanting to send your kid to school with guns.
I don't know if cops in the school though is criminalizing the kids out the gate as much as, I mean, I look at LAPD, right? There's cops at every single school in LAPD, right? Not a question. Where I went to high school, we actually had cops in all the public schools as well, and that was in a city of 300,000 people. This is a city of 4 million people that we live in, right? So you look at it and you go, well, why are these cops really here? Are they here because these are problem schools? Or are they here because like it is the city's duty to make sure that these kids are being protected? Right. Should a kid walk in with a gun,
right?
That's how my school was.
Or drive a car through a school, or you know what I mean? Or a parent comes up there acting crazy and tries to beat a kid or whatever it is. So I mean, it's interesting because we call on them to protect and serve, but at sometimes, and in this situation, listen, this dude is 100% completely wrong and does not deserve to wear a uniform at all whatsoever. But we call on them to protect and serve, and in this situation, like that's part of what they're supposed to do in these schools. But I mean, these kids are so innocent and have no way to defend themselves.
Right.
But the math doesn't work out, because what we've seen is an increase, even though we've also increased cops in schools. We've seen also an increase supposedly in violence in schools, and obviously those statistics can be played with and viewed however they're viewed. But like, because there was an argument back when Columbine happened, and then the other school that recently happened, like, well, they didn't have cops in the school. If there was a cop there, they could have taken him out. Well, maybe they could have, maybe they couldn't, because there was an armed person at Columbine, and he wasn't able to take it out because when the kid came to campus, it looked like the kid, so he didn't know who he was supposed to be taking down. So for me, I'm like, is it not solvable if there's cops that is their beat to be driving around the school so that they are within seconds of a reach? Do they really need to be standing in the school uniformed with guns?
My school, the cops stayed out front.
Right?
And so she was the nicest woman in the world. Everyone knew her by her name, and she would come in like around lunchtime and just walk through. It wasn't like she was there to make you feel like, oh my God. But you knew she was there, and you knew like when it was time to get out of school, she was going to be in the parking lot, and you just get in your car and you continue to go. I just think it's like, to put metal detectors and have people like standing right when you're walking in 7 o'clock in the morning, like before my social studies class, like that's like, my mind ain't gonna be right, But then another thing, I don't even know if this goes with this, but I had gone to Disneyland, and this is so random, but I never even realized there's no metal detectors, and they don't check anything when you walk into Disneyland.
Well, they look in your purse. But they're mostly
and trust and believe, there are cops there at any moment that will take you down.
They want you to buy inside. They're not really looking for shanks or anything.
To me, though.
They just don't let it be seen. But trust me, if you try to take down Epcot Center, you are going down.
They're watching. But there's a way to do it. I think
there's more cameras in the school.
You know what I think it is? I think one of the best ways to address it would be going back to what you said earlier, plainclothes cops. Because to me, what it reminds me of is marshals on flights. We don't know who's who, but we hopefully know that there is somebody there
paying attention and watching should something happen, which I'm fine with.
I agree with that, but I also feel like we're in a state now where kids need to be fearful, and they need to know that there is someone there and that they can physically see too.
But they're not fearful. Like these kids that come, honest to God, if they want to shoot up a school, these kids, a cop standing there is not a deterrent. Like,
that's true.
Because there's something else loose. So that's why for me, like, situations like this, when you have a cop that's doing things that maybe some kind of way we needed to work out in a different way, like we're putting a cop in a situation that he shouldn't have to be in to begin with. Because we've left a cop with the job of disciplining, which is not what he should be doing.
But neither should teachers.
Agreed, but a cop, even to me, is the next level, like, because that turns it into a different situation. It becomes a heightened sense to me as a child. If you get attacked by a cop because you're misbehaving in class, that is very different than your teacher picking you up and walking you out of class by the ear like we used to.
I feel like, but back when we used to, like, I used to respect when my teacher said go to the principal's office, with the exception of Mr. Quattro.
You would get an attitude, but you went.
You know what I mean?
Cussing all the way there.
Right.
Yeah. But
it's a different
these
vibe.
days, these kids be like, bitch, shut the fuck. My mother gonna come up in here and cuss you out, and the mother will sometimes come up in there and cuss them out. So it's like, do you need, it really is hard to really say that, but I think
I'm for the cops.
I am.
I'm for the cops.
I am
in
for
school.
outside at least, and just when you need to be in there, be in there and be like, I'm out here, bitch.
I tell you, I mean, I don't have kids, and I don't know if any of us do, but the one thing that I would always want to know is that my kid is safe at school.
Me too. Yeah.
And I would like to know that somebody is as nearby as possibly could be. They don't necessarily have to walk the hallways, but as long as they are as close as could possibly be, should something go down, which is how I feel about my cops too, just in the streets. That's how I feel about. I don't need them sitting outside my building, but as long as they're close in case something goes down,
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I feel good.
You want them in the neighborhood.
That's why I live in the hood.
Oh.
I feel
Yeah, because they over patrol in the hood.
Well, that's true.
Oh.
But I know just in case they're close by.
But you're not worried about them over patrolling on you.
No.
He got his polo on.
He's got his polo on. And that makes it okay. All right.
Boom. Well,
right.
on another note, whatever your favorite TV show is, maybe it's Real Housewives of Atlanta, which starts back up next week.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Scandal, or whatever your favorite TV show is. As soon as it's over, head over to our sister site, AfterBuzz TV, where as soon as the show's done, we are over there talking about it with your favorite people. AfterBuzzTV.com.
All right, moving on to gossip with Courtney Stewart.
All right, I got my little screen again, so let me work with this. Okay, so this week we had Roland Martin in the news. He's always on the news, but he was sort of in the news bad-mouthing another host. He was bad-mouthing Bill O'Reilly.
What?
Shocking. Because Bill O'Reilly is so great. Why would he do that? Okay, well, apparently Roland gave an interview to The Wrap this week. It was published on Monday. And he basically expressed disgust for Fox News' coverage of the Black Lives Matter movement. And he was quoted as labeling O'Reilly specifically as, quote, a despicable coward. He said, quote, they are lying to their audience and painting a picture that is shameful and despicable. Wow. He added that basically Fox News, if you guys don't watch, it's fairly entertaining. They should just not call it Fox News. It should be called like Fox Life Entertainment for laughter. But whatever. Anyways, so they have often many different hosts, not just Bill O'Reilly, but they've compared the Black Lives Matter movement to the Nazis and the KKK and basically a whole movement to kill cops. Like that's their goal. That's what they're trying to do. Like that's what Black Lives Matter is. And O'Reilly has declined repeated requests to debate Roland Martin, which has been very upsetting for Mr. Martin. He's like, I will come on your show. I will talk to you. Like we can debate this back and forth, but he will not let him do it.
Because Bill O'Reilly doesn't like smart people on the show.
Well, Bill O'Reilly, he will shut you down
He'll just yell at you.
Well, in this case, he actually shut down somebody because in all fairness, he did have...
Wait, Bill O'Reilly did?
Bill O'Reilly did have a supporter of the Black Lives Movement on his show. I think it was a few weeks ago. His name is Keith Boykin, who is a Black Lives Matter supporter and a former aide to President Bill Clinton. And while he was on this show, Boykin was trying to like combat O'Reilly's comment, basically saying that Black Lives Matter is trying to kill cops, and he was like, we don't want dead cops, and he was trying to explain to Bill O'Reilly that that wasn't the case, and the Fox News host shut off his microphone.
Oh.
And that was the end of his
Insane.
interaction.
Wait a minute, Bill O'Reilly had his microphone shut off.
Yo, yes. But you should watch the clip online if you haven't. You could just Google that, Bill O'Reilly, Boykin, and
I
the
gotta see
mic
that. I haven't seen that.
definitely...
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
The mic definitely shuts down. I'm sure the excuse was, technical but it was like straight up like, and I'm pretty
serving Bill.
I'm pretty sure it's not the first time that's happened, because I'm pretty sure I was watching a debate between I can't recall who one time that Bill O'Reilly, one of the people, was cut off, and we were like, wait, what happened? And like it was all accidental. So yeah. Anyway, that's why Roland Martin would like to be on the show and try to talk to him and keep it real, because this whole propaganda, so to speak, in his opinion, about Black Lives Matter being only about killing cops is running rampant on Fox News, and it's, he believes, because they don't want their audience to know the truth.
What do you think that like Monday morning meeting is like or that what do you think that meeting
with
is
the
like?
staff
With that
sitting in there.
staff,
I
Yeah.
just
like
want
every
to
morning,
be
what
there.
that meeting is like.
I just want to be there,
A fly
because
on the wall.
it just has to be the most... I personally think that they are all super intelligent people, and they know exactly what they're doing. So I feel like in the meeting, they're like, yeah, we know, blah, 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 but this is how we gonna spin it, because this is what we do. Because it's not news. Like, it is definitely an entertainment source. Like, it is not news. And I believe that on a certain level, they believe at the core what they are talking about.
Stop.
But
No, some of them I do believe.
I mean,
some
well,
of them.
I do believe
But
most
here's
of
the thing:
them.
you cannot
What's her
call them.
name?
Here's the thing: you cannot call them. You cannot call them intelligent. You cannot use such a big word for people.
I would say opinionated,
I don't know,
but not
Bill
intelligent.
O'Reilly?
Bill O'Reilly is actually really
And we know
intelligent.
someone who worked with him very well, who worked here at BHL, and she said she sat down with him and had great
He's intelligent,
I think
but
he's intelligent. He has a
Is there a difference?
stick.
Is
He
there a
has stick.
difference between intelligence and just being in the know? Because
No,
he's
no,
obviously
no.
He's obviously knows what he's supposed to. He knows everything. He knows current topics. He knows things that
No,
he's
I
supposed
think
to
he's
know.
really well read and educated. Like, I think he is an intelligent person, but I also think he has specific opinions that he knows from an entertainment perspective pays his check if he amps it up to a certain level. And I think
So he's acting.
On a certain
That's what I'm
level,
saying,
I
it's
think
his
it's
stick.
acting.
Yeah.
I did, yep. Because even when I watched,
It's
is that
over the
Nancy
top.
Grace bitch on Fox? Is she Fox?
Nancy Grace, is she on Fox? No, she's
No,
on.
she's
Fox
on-
need to hire her.
She's
because she
MSNBC?
MSNBC.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that,
or headline.
I don't know
Or
how she
H-
named
Or
it.
Headline.
One
I
of
think
those.
it's
Oh no,
Headline.
Kelly
Kelly who?
is the Fox. What's the blonde girl's name from Fox?
The one that got mad.
Oh, with
got
Donald Trump?
pissed off.
Skeletor.
Oh,
what's her
he
real
said
name?
Skeletor.
He's
That's so
Skeletor.
bad.
We got all kind of nicknames for people.
I
Yeah,
can't
but they
remember
do.
the
They
names.
all come off as like cartoon characters esque. Like when I watch Bill O'Reilly, it's like watching a like really angry version of like someone's grandpa just going off like,
Yeah.
"When I was young in the
Someone's
day."
bigoted grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even take him seriously. Like I said, it's his stick. You know what I mean? He knows how to cause the controversy, and that's what he does. So half the top, I do think he's very intelligent, but I think it's also his act. I don't take half the things that he says. He's in the press so much.
There's no. You don't think there's any. He. So then what you're saying is he actually takes no responsibility.
I don't really think he does take responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he
I don't
does.
think he does at all.
Which is
No
very
journalistic
dangerous.
responsibility. That
Yeah.
is insanely
I don't think he
dangerous.
does.
Because he's walking around saying that Black Lives Matter is essentially a terrorist.
KKK.
I think he's
Yes,
trying.
yes,
I think he's
movement.
trying to get reactions out of people and viewers.
But I think
That's
he also
scary.
he knows that his audience
Wants to hear that.
wants to hear that. Like, and
That's
so
like,
he's
don't
feeding
call yourself
what
a
they
journalist.
want.
Don't
Well,
call
But
yourself
you're not a
a
journalist.
Well,
Yeah.
he's calling himself a host. Is he calling himself a journalist? He wrote a book. Like he's a personality. I don't know that
I
he
would give him more
considers himself a
personality.
journalist.
Oh,
You know.
I just feel like him and Ann Coulter have like sacrificial
Actually, it
sex
is.
and
Yo,
like create
please.
that
For
skeleton.
sure.
Ann Coulter, literally, like my hairs just stood up on the back of my
But
neck
when she
you
really
say
shut
that.
Raven down, I did laugh. I'm not even gonna lie. That was
Well,
funny.
you know
but
how
she
I
was
felt
just
about
waiting
that, but
for
that's
that
another
line.
conversation.
But anyways, I can't. I feel like they're gonna have
Speaking-
like the devil's child together, and it's just gonna be like.
I feel like they're just laughing all
maybe
the
I
way
just-
to the
Oh,
bank, selling their
duh.
books and all
Yeah,
that
that's
kind
why
of stuff.
I mean
'cause
maybe I
people
just have positive.
still
like,
have things to say about them, and they stay
nobody
in the news
can
because
really
of that.
believe
Oh no.
and be that level because that's the thing. I think they're too intelligent to actually fully
Have you
believe
been
everything
watching
that
this
they're
Trump
saying.
campaign? I
Well,
believe.
no,
it.
but that's what I'm saying. They are speaking to the lowest common denominator, but I don't think they actually are a part of the lowest common denominator. They just know that it exists and that there's a
How
check
to
to be made
manipulate
from
them
it.
and-
So they're manipulating it. Whatever. Speaking of manipulation. So this next piece of gossip is kind of ridiculous. So I'm just gonna let you know that now. Okay, so there was a retired boxer from Philadelphia. His name is Yusef Mack. I'm not that into boxing, so I don't know if he was super great, but he's currently now retired. And apparently he's been retired since 2014. And apparently because of the 10 kids that he has, he was a little strapped for cash back in June.
Damn.
Yo, this is only the beginning,
And wait,
guys.
one of the kids is he had when he was 15.
Yeah.
Yusef, this story is doing too much. So basically, the
Is he
Philadelphia.
trying to repopulate?
He was active in Philly.
Like, did we
He's
miss?
trying to repopulate Philly. So he told this story based
That's
to
what
the
Philly
Philadelphia
needs.
Daily News. And this is what happened. And I want you guys all to like listen because
It gets
things
crazier than 10
happen.
kids?
Things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Oh, you boy, listen to this story.
Things
First,
happen.
look at the picture,
And people get caught up.
and now listen to this story.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
can't. Don't
So,
don't set it up for Jay.
I'm just letting you
tell
know
the
that
story. Let
we-
it happen
Because
naturally.
Jay is the audience
We are
listening.
all
you know?
in the
It's
industry.
really-
But I just want
and-
y'all to know that it gets crazier than 10 kids. I just want to make
Listen,
sure that
that's-
we all
that's
understand.
minute
It's
in this story.
2015, going on 16. Just so we all clear, we only like 60 days away, and it's more than 10 kids.
I'm just letting you know that in the world we live in
You're
today,
gonna
it's
forget about
easy
that
to
after
get
we
caught
tell you
up.
this story.
Okay, it's easy to get caught
You
up
might
in the
forget
world.
about Caitlyn Jenner.
Okay, so those of y'all out there, here's the story. So in June 2014, Yusef was like, "Yo, I got 10 kids. I'm kind of strapped for cash. I'ma answer this Facebook post to do a porn movie." because, I need a little cash. So he hops on a train and goes to New York City. And when he arrived at this apartment in the Bronx, where apparently they do porn, there was lots of like hot ladies walking around naked. And he was like, oh, it's about to go down. And that is an actual quote. He thought it was about to go down.
Literally.
But it went up.
But he needed a drink or something.
Does down mean like he's going to get an 11th kid?
He needed a drink. He needed a drink. So they gave him a pill and a shot of vodka. He said he took the pill and a shot of vodka. And the next thing he knew, he woke up. And he was on a train at the station in Philly with $4,500 in his pocket. So he went home. And he was like, yo, I'm good. Whatever. It's all good. Until a few days later, a friend of his called him up and was like, hey, boo, I see you in a movie online. He was like, what? A movie? You getting it on with two other brothers.
Two other what?
Two other brothers.
Three-way.
I like how you hit the ERS.
Other brothers.
So we're clear. Brothers. So we're clear.
We're speaking of men.
So, of course, Yusuf was like, what? And this is what he said, quote, my whole life I've been what they call a whoremonger. I love females. The only time I touch a man is when I'm in the ring fighting. So he was pissed. He was upset. He was hurt. He could not believe. He does not understand how he ended up in a pornographic movie with two other men. There were no women involved. He is very, 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 very upset. So he now believes that he was drugged with a drug called GHB, which is basically like a date rape drug, and was forced to perform in a pornographic movie with two other men. And he just said to the paper that, I'm just hurt right now. I can't really sleep at night, but I'm getting by. Everybody thinks I'm going to hurt myself, but I got to stay strong for my 10 girls.
I'm on GHB right now.
Boy.
Just to hear this story.
For all of y'all out there.
Just to get through this story.
When you need a little cash, you probably shouldn't respond to a Facebook post for a porn movie.
Stop.
Derrial, don't do it. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Because you might show up on the internets
with $4,500 in
with
cash on the train
$4,500
later.
in your pocket.
Here's my biggest problem with the story.
Don't understand.
Let's start
why
with lie
this is
number
a
one.
story.
Wait, can we just back up? Can we just back up real
let's
quick?
back up.
I just want to make sure that did he make a living as a boxer, or was he like boxing every once in a while, but then like still had a day job? Like
he made a living.
He was like
He
had
made
a
a
career
Yeah,
as
he's
a
been
boxer.
living as a boxer.
boxer.
Yeah.
Career. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make.
Which is why I think he's denying the gay allegation.
Well, okay, he performed in the video, first of all. Let's start there.
Yeah,
so,
it was like an acting role.
that's what I'm saying. He performed, so he.
So maybe
he's-
it was a hallucinogenic.
Wait, what you mean
and
like?
not
What
a
you mean
date
like?
So it was like
hey,
a
hold
mis-
on, like. I'm here to fix your refrigerator.
Like
Right,
that,
you know what I'm saying?
okay,
Like, he performed. So this is not a Missy Elliott.
Did you watch the video?
No,
I did.
No, I'm saying
I did
he performed
extensive
in the video.
research. He was like Katy Perry, wide awake. Na, 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 na. But he was up. He was awake. He was very functioning.
But maybe he was on a hallucinogenic
Yo,
instead of
first
a
of
GHB.
all, here we go. Dog Pound USA is the porn company,
And they said he
they
did not
only
have-
do gay porn.
And they said they did not give him any drugs at all.
Exactly, and they're gonna. He has a nickname in the motherfucking video, and they're gonna sue him because.
Well, he did tell the paper that he was not pursuing any
Of
legal
course he's
action
not.
right now. But he wanted everybody to know
You're not gonna sue somebody
he
that
was
date raped you.
drugged. He didn't say date rape.
That
he said
drugged
I was
you?
drugged
So
and taken advantage of.
my question is, so the hallucinations, he hallucinated that these were women.
Maybe.
That
Maybe he thought they were
had
vaginas.
penises in his mouth.
That
Maybe
is
the
both.
vaginas. Look.
First of all, he's getting rammed up the ass.
I'm just saying, like, dude,
He gets
did
fucked
they,
in
did
the
he think
video.
that the
Well, maybe
women
he
have
did.
dildos on? That's what I'm
No,
trying
he
to figure
gets
out.
Maybe they thought they were strap-on.
And they all look like. Look at them.
Can we
Those
back
are,
this
there's
up real quick?
nothing manly about that.
We lost Jay for a
We need to
moment.
back up
We
real
got
quick.
to bring Jay. We lost Jay for about
Can we
10
all
seconds.
just bring this back for one more second?
Let's
Just
rewind
just
this
one more second.
conversation. Let's,
So wait, there was a minute.
I'm an actor.
Yeah.
This is what that's how I pay my bills, right? And I have to learn lines, right? I look at a
Yes.
script and I go, oh, that's my line. I should say it. And then somebody says
He
it.
said, "I should say
and then
it."
they go, oh, there's another line. I should say that too.
Oh,
okay,
boy.
here's the thing.
Can you do that on drugs?
I mean,
Some.
Well, now some have.
well,
Some.
no, not that you can't, not that you can't. And we're talking about porn, so we're not talking about
They didn't have
we're not
extensive
talking about like a
lines.
Malik film.
We're just
You
kinda
know,
like, oh.
it's not like Soderbergh was
Like,
directing
oh.
them. We're not talking about something like highbrow.
That's good.
But he acted in.
I mean, you know.
Like
Doesn't
he
it
hit mark,
label
like
it-
he hit marks?
If
Like
you
you
call-
You saw the video. Did
Marks?
he hit the marks?
I mean, like you said, it's
over.
not like
it's not like
full out conversations,
dialogue.
but it's like, yo, what's good, bro? Like, so clearly the cast said
he had a penis in his
3
mouth.
males. He had a penis in his asshole.
Okay, so that's where it
well,
goes
that
back
could
to my
happen
point.
if you passed out.
He wasn't passed out. He was wide awake.
Listen, I'm not even trying to get personal, but I am. If you were passed out,
Don't you wake up?
He would wake up, not worry about the 45
listen, if we was in the bed and you was passed out and I started poking around, don't you think you'd be like, what, hold on,
That wasn't there when I went to sleep.
wait 1 minute, wait 1 second, hold on, wait. The sleep just got interrupted. It's good sleep.
Right, it's good sleep. Right.
You don't stop me and go, Jay, what you doing back there? That's not Jay.
Wrong hole.
What, you drunk? Jay.
Oh, boy.
You don't stop me? You just let me poke around?
I can't respond because anything that I would respond would be so inappropriate. Yusuf, good luck, brother.
Wait, can we
Good luck
just
with
side
that
note
claim.
this whole story? Because another story had came up that I really wanted to put in this week.
Oh.
About Zola the stripper.
Yeah, I
that?
thought about doing that
Shout
one.
out
It
to
was
Zola
trending.
the stripper.
Yeah.
That was the best reading
I'm
I've
gonna
done.
send it to you.
in-
You just have to read the whole thing.
Well, okay, for people who don't know,
I'm
people
working
don't
on
know
that
it.
as a monologue
I'm gonna tweet
right
it
now.
out, okay? So Zola is this girl. She's a dancer, and she met this white girl dancer.
Her name was Jessica?
Yes,
Jessica,
And
yeah.
she said, "Hey, girl, you want to come to Florida with me and make some money?" And
She was
Zola,
like, what kind of money we gonna make? What kind of money we
Big
got?
money.
What kind of money? Big money? Oh, okay, I'm down. I'm good.
So, mind you, Jessica was with a
large
large
black
black
man.
man the night that she met him. Now, when she went to the airport, she met up with Jessica, another large black man who was not the same one, original one, and then Jessica's white boyfriend.
Yes.
And she said, "Well, wait a minute, who are these guys?"
She was like,
they're
no, they cool,
don't
they
worry
cool,
about it,
they
don't worry
cool, they
about it.
cool.
They go on this trip, and now this is like a full detail Law and Order
White
episode.
boyfriend?
White
boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
like
Her boo.
Jessica,
Her
boo.
bae.
Her bae.
Okay.
And they go to Florida, and it turns into this
Shenanigans of a lifetime.
like the one guy is like the pimp, and then I find out Jessica is a prostitute, and
finds
she's
out
only
Jessica's-
selling her cooch for $100. Zola teaches her
Zola's
how
like,
to
no,
sell
girl,
it for
you can sell it for
$1,000.
$1,000.
Then Zola starts.
She needs to go to the bunny
sending her out. The boyfriend was almost going to kill himself and jump off a ledge, and it is just the most. And this bitch posted the whole story on Twitter, and
it
then
was
gives you updates.
why she don't fuck with that bitch no more.
Yeah.
Is what she entitled it.
She just wanted everyone to know why she
This
didn't.
is why she don't fuck with that bitch.
But it
no
is
more.
one of the most interesting stories, and people are like, "This is probably going to be
Black
a
Twitter
TV
went crazy
show or
over it,
a
yeah.
movie made out of this thing," like because it was so detailed.
Yeah.
So
and
the
I
black
really
dude was the pimp.
The black dude was the
But
pimp.
it turns out he was not just a pimp,
Oh,
okay?
no.
He was a big African sex trafficker,
Yeah,
okay?
He was a sex trafficker.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a whole nother story for Bell
That's
Right.
a
Another
other-
whole level
yeah.
to that story. But she
Yeah.
did make it safely back to Detroit with her boo, and she told her man the whole
she was
story
coming
when it was
from
all
Detroit.
over.
I
She was
mean-
from the D.
No,
It
but
started with Detroit, and I would have understood.
Yeah, that
what
would
we were talking about.
changed the context of the story.
First of all, here's how much
I
I
love
know.
Detroit, but I would have.
That's how much I know strippers, because then I asked my girlfriend, I was like, "Wait a minute, like why would she go with a
that's good
stranger?"
money.
She said, "Bitch, that's what hoes do." And I'm
Yes,
like,
it's good money. Quick money, good money. They was just going for the weekend.
I'm gonna tweet it out, and y'all can read it if you have
Yeah,
not.
please
It
do.
is honestly like
It's
just
the funniest thing I've read.
get
And it's
some
getting
hot
a lot of burn
cocoa,
right
a
now.
glass of wine, or
Yeah.
something after Scandal, and read it.
She's not saying she was drugged into a gay sex.
No, no, no.
A lesbian
She was
sex.
fully
act.
Wide awake.
aware.
She was wide awake.
And she was fully clear that she don't trick.
Right.
So, Yusuf, maybe you weren't clear that you don't
Yusuf.
trick.
He's clearly lying.
Are you? I mean, you can't clearly call him a liar.
No.
I mean,
No, I'm gonna
there's-
I
clearly
saw
call
the
him.
video.
But
I don't need to see the video.
That's what I'm saying. I don't need to see the video.
I don't need to see the
actually-
video. I don't even want to sit next to nobody who saw the video.
That's fine.
but here's what I do know: he wasn't on no drugs.
Thank
How do
you.
That's
but
what I'm
if
saying.
He
there's
might have smoked some weed.
So many drugs. Like, what if he was like on like
Why would you take a pill?
Because
He
you're-
still
because
performed.
It could have been like an anxiety pill. Like it could have been
Why
a
would you-
Xanax.
'Cause they
Maybe
wanted
he
to
was
loosen him
nervous.
up.
You know,
He's
here's
never
my
done
thing.
porn
You just
before.
gonna take an anxiety pill for me?
Because he hasn't done porn before, so he's like, I need a
but I don't know
Xanax.
you like, but yo, we talking about a
I don't know
grown
you
man.
like that, right.
Okay, you don't know me like
That's
that.
what I'm
and I know-
saying.
So if I just, hey, yo, take this pill. You know that last time, I'm not even gonna
but-
bring that dude's name up.
But see, you.
But it's a lot of people talking about a man who we all know. We just talked about him earlier, who he was giving people pills. for the last 30 years.
Well, but see, that's only further
So
proof.
don't we learn? Yeah, but that story done came out since then.
But,
so Yusuf should know from the father of all fathers
Yusuf,
on national television that
didn't
you just don't
have-
give a
Wait,
pill.
Cosby's pills were way better because these bitches weren't remembering until 30 years
They were
later.
Quaaludes.
Yeah, those are some serious pills.
That was
right there.
like, wait a minute.
Shoot, I mean, I don't know what
Well,
America's dad
technically,
was handing
Yusuf
out
never
pills.
remembered because he only cared when it was posted online that he had. a
Well,
thing
he
and his
was
friends
fine
told
with
him.
that money in his pocket.
But here's my thing. I would be able to sort of believe him if he was just the person who was doing the fucking. You know,
Because they do
if
this
he
thing.
was-
It's
if
called
he
a bait
wasn't
and
being-
switch.
yeah.
And so they blindfold a straight guy,
Yeah.
and they have a girl in a car, but it's really a guy doing stuff to them. And then they give him money and they throw him out a truck.
What?
This wasn't that. This was a man in an acting video.
Jesse know his porn.
I'm just saying.
Apparently.
Yeah, you just broke it down. You
I
just hit
didn't
this to a
even
whole
know
other
I'm
level.
celibate, you know what I mean? I keep to myself because motherfuckers out here got diseases, and I'm not trying to catch it. Nothing.
Okay. But we just got real personal.
All right.
You know what I mean? Come on over to my Twitter page.
But here's what I'm saying. When you wake up in the morning,
I'm just saying.
nah, because I just want to
There
know.
could have been a drug, and
I know,
it
but
was
when
an
we
accidental situation.
But here's the thing.
I'm glad that you
If
rooting for
sometimes
you,
you
Sam.
if you
slip
come to
on
my
my-
house, right? If you come to my house, right? And I'm like, hey, let me give you a champagne and a pill, whatever it is.
champagne
Now
and
you
a
said,
pill.
is this
You know
the
what I'm saying?
morning
But I'm a
time?
girl.
No, I'm just saying, but listen to
But
me.
I'm
I
a girl,
understand,
so
but
I have a
listen.
different perception. I'm
No,
like,
wait,
oh,
wait,
he's
no,
trying
but
to drug
listen.
me,
No,
he's
no,
trying to
no,
get
no,
up
no,
in
let him
it.
finish,
Just
let him
listen.
finish,
All
let
right,
him
so
finish.
I don't give you no pill. Fine, whatever, right? We just fall asleep. It's innocent. We Netflix and chilling. You know what I'm saying? We just fall asleep. You in an Uber in the morning. You don't go like, ooh, something happened last night.
But that's a
Like,
girl.
you
Because, like,
in
you
an
have
Uber,
stuff
you don't go
and,
like, you don't go
Yeah,
like,
but it
A
would
guy's
even be
asshole
worse
who
for
has
a
10
guy.
kids who says he's
That's
never
what
had
I'm
gay
saying.
sex
It's gonna be
before.
worse for a dude.
Bitch, you gonna
really
wake
gonna
up
notice
in some
something then.
pain.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo,
You
I
really
leave-
would notice.
I leave my doctor and I'm like, oh,
Okay.
I still feel this 4 days later.
Okay,
like,
well-
listen, he checked my prostate.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe he thought that it was still a girl doing it. Like, maybe she had a strap on and, like, was going at it.
Well,
and
first
then
of
they did other
all, you
weird
have some
stuff.
other sort of issues if you doing that.
Well, he doesn't even know what he was doing. So
Girl,
wouldn't he
you
just be
Yusuf
like,
is lying, is what it boils down to.
I'm
I mean, you know what? I don't know
I
the
tried
boxer's
to
mentality.
stand
Maybe
for
the
myself.
I'm
concussions.
surprised that you even stood up for him.
I mean, I'm
actually.
trying to help a brother out because I read
am-
that and I was
I
like,
am-
is this real life?
I love
So
that
you would
'cause-
date Yusuf.
She did not sell that, first of all.
You would date Yusuf because you'd be like, no, it's okay. I understand what
Yusuf
happened to
has
you.
10 children. Me and Yusuf can't even be friends.
And on that note,
We just can't even be friends. And apparently he's jobless because who
he is
answers an
jobless.
ad on Facebook
no, he's
to
not.
go to porn?
Well, he has $4,500 now.
He has 10 children.
Yeah, that's gone
That was like
yesterday.
child
Divide
support
that
for the
by
first.
3,500.
No, that was only child support for
$150
two of them. That was child support for
All right,
two
let's
of them.
dial back though.
So
If
he's-
Yusuf had
he's
no children,
homeless.
if Yusuf had no
He's
children,
off-
$4,500 in his
yeah,
pocket.
if he had no children,
Yeah.
$4,500, and he hit you, you know, so
Honey.
y'all just bumped into each other out one night, and he was like, "Yo, but I just want you to know
He's
this
just
one
not.
thing."
He's not that cute.
Oh, now it's just back to
Oh,
he's not.
now,
because a minute ago you was giving him excuses like,
No,
you,
I'm just trying to help that there's possibilities
She's being
that like
devil's
people,
advocate.
things happen.
Leave the devil
and
at
when you
home.
add drugs,
The devil's in Yusuf.
leave the devil
the
at
devil.
home.
maybe
my
he was
bed stuff.
nervous and he just needed a Xanax.
I cannot believe that you would stand up for that man.
I don't take Xanax, and if I took a Xanax, I took a Benadryl, and I was somebody else. So it was
Well, who
like,
were
you know,
you,
if you
Courtney?
take, shut
Let
up.
us know
We're
who you were.
moving on.
But do you remember what happened?
Yeah,
on
what
the
happened
Benadryl?
that
My
night?
girl, were you slobbing on some knob?
Did you wake up
Were you
and
neck
have some
if you
pains
buck?
in places that you didn't have pains before?
Wait, hold on.
What's
Well,
going
this
on?
is a personal issue because I mean,
What?
Secret.
So
I'm
if
glad
you
you-
want to,
I'm glad you sat next to me today,
Mike, what's
Courtney.
next?
I'm glad you sat next to me today, Courtney.
iTunes read.
if you don't
Where
remember
can you
somebody,
find us?
listen, if you don't remember somebody after a Benadryl, then they need to reevaluate their whole life.
I know that's right. I know
They
that's
need to
right.
reevaluate.
That's a whole other different problem.
Yeah,
I'm
they
with
need-
Jay on that one. I know that's right.
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is a different conversation, and we're going to move
All right.
on to new conversations.
We'll
what
move
you got,
on.
Derrial?
We're going to move on to iTunes, where you can find us and you can find interesting conversations like the one that just took place right
Apparently.
now. You can find old episodes with Jay Ellis on Next. You can find The Beat with Jesse. You can find Fashion 401. You can find Portraits, which we just did with Iyanla, and we also had Jennifer Lewis.
Yes.
We've got a whole list of people that you can find on BlackHollywoodLive.com on iTunes. Be sure to give us a rating and comment. You guys guys have been great to us. You've made this week the #1 show on Black Hollywood Live, so thank you for all your comments and the love for the show. We want to continue to give you the best programming possible, and also subscribe. That's very important for us too. Please subscribe, tell a friend, send it to your auntie, maybe edit Jesse some
your
parts
auntie,
that he has to
your
say,
cousin.
when he cusses.
I'm probably your auntie's favorite, though.
It probably is, because you're my
She
mom's
loves
favorite,
him.
so I must say. So please go to Black Hollywood Live on iTunes, give us a rating and comment, and let us know what you guys love and don't love, and we'll try and change the programming for you. All right, moving on to the EUR Web Stories Spotlight of the Week.
By change the programming, you mean there'll be more Youssef programming? All right, I'm gonna stop. My bad.
We're gonna leave Youssef alone.
My bad.
Boom, boom.
But I see a new show for y'all coming real soon.
What's it called?
Jesse's Porn Hub. I don't know.
No.
Your commentary would be hilarious.
Your
Like the
commentary
people on
would
the
be
couch
funny.
on Bravo.
No,
Actually, you could just sit and
Because
watch
have you ever
porn
read
and then
comments
just make
in
your comments.
porn?
No, but you should do a show like that.
I should do that because I die. People have like the most serious political commentary under porn. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, it's
like
really-
y'all are really on here.
Yeah, it's
like,
really not that serious for commentary, but
Wow.
I would like to see a show with you on there like that. That'd be funny. All right, yeah,
It's
we're
not really my brand that I'm reaching for.
Is that your new brand? There's a market for it. All right, we're moving on to the ER Web Story Spotlight of the Week. A person who's been in the headlines who's had a little controversy this week is Russell Simmons, who we all love. He is the man. He has done a lot of great things in the community, but some people in the community are upset with him right now because of his Rush card. As you know, or if you don't know, the Rush card is something that he developed for minorities and for lower income families to be able to manage their money and use it just like a debit card, just like you would use anything else. It's under the MasterCard bigger corporation, but this past week there was a glitch in the computer system where people were not able to access their funds for 10 days. So people went bananas because they were having surcharges, they were having different charges of checks bouncing that were happening to them. They were all being charged for this, and it just now is getting fixed. Now, Russell has been very apologetic in this entire matter. He actually even started a fund to have other business people that he knows to contribute so this doesn't happen anymore. So if a glitch would happen, that there's easy access, a pool of money that people could get to. He guaranteed that everyone will be reimbursed for all of their funds that were missing or lost in this glitch. But people are pretty pissed off with Russell about this because of the fact that, a lot of these people need the day-to-day money to access their bills and just their living. In fact, one of the tweets that were sent out was a man who said that he wasn't able to buy groceries for his children because he wasn't able to access his debit card for 10 days. So, what do you guys think about this and Russell's reaction to, what was going on?
I can't even. I cussed out Bank of America for waiting 20 minutes because they fucked up my shit at Whole Foods the other day. So I can't even imagine.
10 days is a long time not to be able to access your money.
It's a long time.
Y'all know what he should do?
Keep it on the
He should
couch.
call George Lucas.
Right.
Wife.
Right.
Right? And have a conversation with her. And then she gonna talk to George about that relief fund.
Okay.
All
She
right, I
gonna
feel that.
drug George.
Into giving up 10
You
more
guys are
million.
So in 10 years, he'll be like, I don't even remember helping
Yeah,
Rush
You're
out with that.
terrible. But he was
That
really
is
good.
crazy,
He was
though.
like
He was
responding
good.
to people
He
on
was
Twitter.
responding to people on Twitter.
That's
He
dope.
said he would
And
even take phone calls
yeah,
from
he was
certain people.
taking
So he
phone calls,
was
so he was
really
really trying to be on top of it.
I felt he
He
felt
should
bad
give a little
about it.
kickback, though.
Well, he's saying that
For
he
10
would
days, he
cover
should-
certain things, but we'll see. I mean, in the end, it's rough because the people that use a Rush card in general already are like financially not in the best place because you can't get a bank account. That's why you get a Rush card.
Yeah.
So
and thousands lost their. I mean, it was like
it
thousands
was
of people.
so many people.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And I know I'd be pissed. I mean, when the bank
More than
charges
that.
me, if I go to a restaurant, they double charge me twice. I get pissed off if it's
Like, you're
$24.
holding my money,
Like,
what?
so I know I would be
Yeah.
pissed 10 days.
Yeah.
That's some
Yeah.
serious stuff.
That is
Which,
crazy.
little note out there. I hate calling Bank of America, and I
Bank of
don't
America's
care.
the worst.
Right, but their Twitter actually will reply to
probably
you quicker
faster than calling.
just letting y'all know.
So you're
I
saying
think that's
tweet
like
people.
customer
tweet
service
tweet
or
to
Oh, I sure
corporations.
do.
Oh,
Tweet to
across
At this
corporations.
point, I'd be dragging Bank of America on
Tweeting
Twitter.
Anthem.
I know this isn't a problem for you, Jay, with all those millions you got in your bank
coins.
account, but what?
I
Them
know.
coins
All
is
your
real.
coins.
Them coins is real. I've been to
don't
your
have to
house.
answer
Them
no
coins is
Facebook
real.
ads. You
But
just got
what would
the
you do in this
coins.
situation? What
If
would
I'm
you?
Russ,
Yeah.
If I'm Russ, I mean, I think I think he hit it right. I think you got to respond to people and let people know that you're actually there and approachable and accessible, and you apologize as much as you possibly can. And I think you you set up a fund, you know what I mean, and you help people out. You know, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are really like, what the dollar amounts are like, but you know, Russ can afford a little donation.
I would say.
I mean, I'm
so,
not trying to speak on your money, Russ, but you can afford a donation.
Or at least some little nice little financial, like positive thing, like
Christmas
send
coming up.
everybody
little
$100
Christmas.
gift card.
I think everybody
or
should get like a little
something.
Christmas bonus, even if it's like a couple $100. You know,
it's tough,
some
though.
little extra something.
It's tough though, but you know, you say that, but it goes back to what you said. Like, you know, a lot of people who use the Rush card are people who can't get bank accounts. So like, you know, I appreciate your gift card or, you know, whatever, but at the end of the day, like, you know, the gift card ain't gonna get me through almost
nothing.
getting
That's true.
evicted.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you're Youssef and you got 10 kids, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It always goes back to Youssef.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn Youssef.
you know? I actually heard, I read this story earlier this week. Did you guys know that AARP is leaving MasterCard and going
Yes.
to Visa?
Yeah, going to Visa. Yeah,
And that's
I
going
saw
to be
that.
crazy.
That's
'cause
going to
that-
be.
Could you imagine a bunch of baby boomers running
Yeah.
around with no debit cards for 10 days?
That's
No.
scary.
They barely know how to use the card as is.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, we gotta change again.
Right.
I mean, I'm like that when I gotta change something. So
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? Russell did it. I applaud the way Russell handled it,
Yeah.
so I can't be mad at him. I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. And like I said, I know I would be pissed off if it happened
it
to
happens,
me, but
man. That's
but-
banking in America.
banking in America.
Banking in a
All right, well, speaking of pissed off, someone else who is pissed off is actor Harold Perrineau,
Boo.
who we know from Z Nation. He's been in so many movies. He's been
He
around
was
for a long
so
time.
Sweet.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, his daughter is one of the stars in Jim and the Holograms, which is
It's a remake of a
Of a-
real tight 80s cartoon.
it's a cartoon.
And
right?
Courtney is not thrilled that they have remade
She's
it.
not thrilled
We
about
gonna keep
it.
going, go on.
Well, his daughter is in the movie, and
Yes,
his
she
daughter is
is.
biracial.
She's playing Shayna. Go
She's playing
on.
Shayna. She's playing Shayna, and critics are really upset because they don't feel that his daughter looks black enough to play the character in the movie. So Harry is
They should have made Jen black.
very pissed off. He had this to say when the media spoke with him about his daughter. He said, "The reason I am so angry right now is that I feel like my daughter, my child, is being attacked. She's being harshly and unfairly judged during a time when she should be relishing her new accomplishments." Now, like I said, critics have said that she isn't black enough and about the role that she's playing, but he later also said, when he was asked again about his daughter being cast, he said, "Can we stop looking to Hollywood to define who we are and find ways that we can define ourselves?" What do you guys think about this story? I can listen, Courtney. Let me start with you because you already rolled.
I
your eyes.
do have
You
an
rolled-
attitude.
You were rolling your eyes before I even started
What's
the story.
the
So what's
attitude?
your-
I
This is more-
definitely
what's
have
the
an
attitude
attitude.
I feel
about
like this is personal.
Okay, overall, the movie looks terrible. I'm not going to judge it. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm already bitter. I will denote that in the beginning. I'm bitter because it doesn't look like what it should look like to me so far. And the casting overall sucked, in my opinion. But haven't seen it. The girls, I'm sure, are super talented. I totally get it. Whatever. My issue with what Harold said, I don't support people going online and talking to this little girl, talking about you ain't black enough for her, because
Right.
the issue isn't with her at all. She's as black as she want to be and as black as she
can
believes
be.
she is and wants to be. Like, she's black because her daddy black, and if she whatever, that's not the issue. The issue is whitewashing a cast, because the reality is okay, I have to explain it up front. I'm a huge Jam and the Holograms fan.
I feel the
like
passion.
enormous. I
the passion.
introduced a Jam and the Holograms to my boyfriend's 10-year-old like 2 years ago, and she is like so hype about Jam and the Holograms. So when we found out there was about to be a movie, we were like, yes, we're going. We can't wait.
Were there any black characters in the cartoon?
Yes, that's the problem.
Okay.
We saw the trailer
Put the voice on that.
for the new movie. We saw the trailer for the movie.
Right, I didn't
Ask
ask
her again.
nothing.
We saw the trailer for the movie, and we were like, where's Shayna? There's no Shayna in this movie. And my new 10-year-old, like, Shayna's not in the movie. How did I not have
Okay,
Shayna?
sorry. Was she chocolate in the?
Shayna was chocolate.
In the-
Okay,
in
she
the-
was not even like brown like me. Shayna was chocolate with purple afro.
Okay.
Like my afro out. And so to see that role be given to this young lady who is beautiful and as black as she wants to be, it's only disappointing because it's that whole ethnically ambiguous thing, and we're looking at it like, that's not, are there any black girls in the band? Because it's a band. It's a band, and it was exciting because it's like Kimber was Asian, and we had a black girl, and we had Jam, and we had this. So like, it was a big, it's kind of like, see, that is Shayna, thank you. So
Wow, she's.
it
Chocolate.
was just as upsetting as when they did Josie and the Pussycats, and
Or
as
like
much as I
Storm
love
with Halle Berry?
Somewhat, yes, exactly. Like, it's just one of those things, like, nobody's, I'm not coming for the girl for being cast. Like, girl, get your job, work, do your thing. Don't hate on her. She got a job, and she's probably great and can sing, and it's wonderful. But in the end, as a black girl, I get tired of seeing girls that look ethnically ambiguous, because I couldn't even pick out that they had cast that character in the freaking trailer because they all look like white girls up against each other, and that's what's upsetting. Not that she got a job and whatever. So anyway, I'm glad to find out. I only found out that Shayna was actually in the show because Harold Perrineau was coming out saying, like, why are y'all coming from out? I was like, oh, she was cast as Shayna. Okay. Well, now I get it, because I didn't even realize you were African American, which is fine. I'm not telling you that doesn't make you African American. I'm simply saying that it's another whitewashing image that they've done before. They did it with Josie and the Pussycats by putting Rosario Dawson in the black girl role.
Did. You're right.
And it's just like, it sucks. It's lame. So, but going to the point of being like, we can't keep looking to Hollywood to define our blah, blah, blah. I'm not looking for Hollywood to define shit. But what I am saying is that existed to begin with, and then you purposely chose someone that does not look African American entirely.
Like, Keke Palmer would have taken it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous. She's great. But she doesn't necessarily, upon appearances, immediately look African American unless you know that she's mixed. That doesn't make her not black. It just means from appearances, she doesn't look. And this is a business of images. So if that's the image you want to put out, I can't do shit about it. But it still speaks something to people that are brown and appreciated the fact that in the 80s there was a
You
black
wanted her to
girl on
look more
TV.
like the
I mean, could we get an Afro girl? Like, she ain't even got big curly hair. Like, cause her hair in the video was like pressed down, and we're like, dang, could she at least have curly hair? Like, give her something. This chick got an afro.
She does have an afro.
She
got a blue purple afro.
She had a blue purple afro.
She does have a blue purple
that
afro.
That was my Halloween costume last year. But I'm just saying, like, why? I just, whatever. I'm done talking because I talked a really long time. I'm sorry. No, but I really like Gem and the Holograms. It's a great cartoon. It's on Netflix. Check it out if you haven't. It's great.
Just don't go see the movie.
Have you ever seen it?
Go see the movie.
Younger.
Have you ever seen it?
My sister was hardcore with
I was
this,
more like a Sailor Moon.
I don't even know what it is.
It's the best cartoon ever. I had the lunchbox. It was like amazing. It was great.
They were like a rock.
They were rock bands, but were they in high
band.
school or something? Or
well, they were all foster children, and Jim's father like adopted all of them, so they all lived in the house together. And Jim was like the older one, but she's actually Jerica. She got like, once her daddy died, he has this whole like thing that he set up that makes her a pop star. So like she can press, because he owned a record company, so she takes over the record company, and she has these earrings that turn her into Jam.
It was like that's what I remember.
She turns into Jam, and like they have this whole thing. So it's basically like if you Hannah Montana. It's sort of like the cartoon version of Hannah Montana, because Jem was like Jerica in regular life, but when she put on her earrings, she was Jem and the Holograms. And they had a whole band, and they like went through all this thing, and there was this whole other band that was like hating on them called the Misfits, and like it was just fun. It was a really great, funny like cartoon music. I could sing a song right now, but I won't.
I thought Hannah Montana was a song.
Okay, boo.
Wait, what?
Spoiler.
Come on, it is.
So what it boils down to, your issue is more with the way that they cast this.
Just that it was a very whitewashed cast, like as if there were, because like I said, Kimber in the cartoon is Asian. Like there was an Asian character, there was a black character. I can't tell, maybe. I mean, I've only seen the trailer, so I don't know. Maybe there is an Asian girl in it, but it was at a time when like that's not an image that was always around. It kind of sucks that like, you know, in 2015 like that isn't valued, that we want to see that there are all these different girls that
let me ask you this,
band.
Jay, with you being a very successful actor, we've talked about this subject many times on the show. Do you think that this is more of a female targeted thing in Hollywood, or does this affect the African American male as well? Because I feel like I don't hear men say it as much about the roles that they have or get in Hollywood, the African American men.
And what do you mean?
In the sense of the kind of the racial ambiguous roles going to, we've talked about, I feel like we've talked about the lighter skinned women in music videos. We've talked about the lighter skinned roles.
I think it happens to women more often. I think there are just, those roles just aren't written for men, right? Or for women in most cases as well. But I think when you end up in the ambiguous lane, you typically end up there with women.
Right.
I think far more than you do with men.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So do you see castings for men that ask for ethnically ambiguous? Because women see castings that say ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah, I don't see that as much anymore. I mean, my agents do, but I'll definitely I've walked into rooms before where it's been, you're standing in a room and it's like like they're clearly seeing a Latin dude, an Asian dude, a white dude, and a black dude.
Yeah.
You know, so they're definitely just looking, or maybe there's no white dude. Maybe they're just looking for ethnic. You know what I mean? Whatever that turns out to be, as long as it's just not a white guy. You know what I mean? I've definitely seen that before. But ethnically ambiguous, I feel like that's more of like the commercial world more than it is the TV for TV guys. World. For guys, especially anyway, I feel like it's more of the commercial world than it is for the TV world.
Well, they say it's going to change in the future, especially now the whole, Raven Simone talks about this as well a lot about the no labels. So they said in casting that's really going to be affected too, because now it's going to be no labels in casting. How do you feel about that? Do you think that that's going to be productive for African American roles, or is it just going to wash us out?
I think the hope is that it doesn't wash us out, right? I think you hope that you take, there's this really amazing story, and it's, I can't think of the guy's name, but it is the guy who, he was a producer and directed Lethal Weapon. And it's in the story Casting By. It's in the documentary Casting By on Netflix, if you guys ever watch it. And there's this really amazing story where the casting director talks about she just saw Danny in this play. And he had just done... not Glory. He just done.
That's Danny Glover for those of you all that don't know.
He had just done something. I can't think of what it was. He had just done something. She saw him. He was absolutely amazing. And when they knew they wanted Mel Gibson, and when it came time to figure out who Murtaugh was going to be, the director, the producers, everybody on board, the studio was like, oh, give us a list of white names. And she came back with Danny Glover. And the director looked at her and he's like, but literally his words, and he admits it in the documentary. He says himself. He looks at her and he goes, but he's black. And she goes, what's your point? He's one of the best actors in the world. I don't understand what your point is. Right. You're going to miss out if you don't hire this guy. Right. And then we see Lethal Weapon go for 4 movies, and we know Danny Glover is a superstar and who he is. But what's amazing is this guy then goes back and he says, that moment, I had a very successful career to that point. He goes, in that moment, I realized that I'm not racist, I'm not prejudiced. I just didn't think bigger. I wasn't ever forced to think bigger than this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And look who knows what would have happened to that franchise had it not been.
I can't even imagine anybody else in that role, right?
And so I think when you think about situations like that, I think what you hope to take away from that is that these roles can be anybody. We can tell stories just like anybody else. We, just as we're sitting here, like, at different looking people, and different thinking people, we can tell stories that anybody else can tell. You know what I mean? Because we all have different perspectives and different backgrounds. And you hope that you get to see more like multi-ethnic casting. You know, and hopefully that's what comes out of that. Yeah.
Well, the fight will fight on, I guess.
Yeah, it will. It will. And I think listen, you when you look at when you look at Empire and Blackish and Scandal, and I'm sure you guys have probably talked about this on the show before, but when you look at the success of all these shows, you look at Straight Outta Compton doing 100. I mean, Will Packer's last like 4 movies have all done.
Will's killing it,
right? 5 movies or something like that have all done.
And now he's moved over to NBC, TV.
So you look at that and you realize like that can't be ignored. Right.
And then now you've had such a successful career. I mean, obviously you were one of the favorite characters on BET's The Game, Blue, and you've moved on from there, and you got some exciting projects going on. Give us a little insight on what you've been working on.
Yeah, man. I did the Issa Rae. Yeah, she is an amazing, beautiful, talented chocolate woman. She had this web series called The Adventures of
Awkward Black Girl.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like when you talk to a black woman, like they immediately tap into it. You know what I mean? And she did her thing. She crushed, and this YouTube, this web series turned into hundreds of thousands of subscribers and 30, 40, 50 million views, something like that. And it ended up getting to, that got developed into a show that's now called Insecure on HBO. Larry Wilmore is an EP on it. Prentice Penny, who was recently on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was on Girlfriends. He's an amazing writer and producer. Melina Matsoukas, who's a video director. Well, she started out as a video director. Now she's a producer director on this show. She directed a lot of Beyonce's videos. They all came together and put this project together, and now we got 10 episodes on HBO that we'll start shooting in a few months, and it'll come out late summer, and there's definitely an audience for it. And we actually got to screen the pilot last week, and literally I took my mom, and she literally cried. I mean, there was so much laughter. She laughed the entire time, and she walks out and she goes, "Ugh, I just got to tell my mama she can't watch that one because it's just way too much cussing." I mean, I think I heard the N word 14 times, and I was like, really? I was like, they probably edited like 16 of those. But I play Lawrence. I play Issa's boyfriend. he's a loser. He's a lovable loser. You know, he's a dude who hasn't gotten off the couch in a while, and he's depressed. You know, he's a well-educated guy, and he stepped out to, like, you know, try and start his own business, and then that failed. And from there, he's been afraid to do anything because he doesn't want to fail anymore. And so, you know, she's frustrated with him because he won't get up and try anymore. And he, you know, it's funny because coming from playing Blue, where it was like, Blue was all about image, you know what I mean? Like, he was in suits all the time. He was always lined up. He was in glasses. He was very much, you know, what he wore was very much thought about. This dude is the exact opposite. Like, I didn't have a haircut for like 5 weeks. I didn't shave.
Wow.
I felt like I was Django. You know what I'm saying? I heard they doing Roots again. Like,
They are doing Roots.
They see the tape of this. They see the tape of this.
You took some headshots.
You might get hired for that.
They see the tape of this. They may be like, "That's Kunta right there." But no. It's a really amazing process, man. And Issa she's special. She's gonna be she is like really, really special. She's gonna be a star, man. She's gonna really blow up from this show, and I just can't I can't dote on her enough. Like, it was amazing, like, watching her go through this whole process and then getting to see the whole thing and seeing it finished and seeing how, you know, every single moment, you know, she's involved, from the writing of the script to the colors that characters wear to the apartments to every single location to the shots. She's involved in so much of it, and to see her do it with so much grace, and I know she was stressed out and nobody got cussed out. That's amazing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's really, really amazing. And so we're really excited about it. So yeah, you know, HBO sometime this summer. We start shooting in 2 months, 3 months, something like that. We'll be on probably mid to late summer.
And you're doing a lot of fun traveling too.
Yeah, I'm on my way to Africa.
The motherland.
The motherland.
The motherland.
Yeah. I'm headed to South Africa first. In 2 or 3 weeks. I'm doing a show there called Top Actor, which airs on BET there. And then another network, and then I leave there and I'm going to Ghana for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks to work on a movie.
That's gonna be real spiritual too.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm working with Leon.
Oh, Leon. Okay.
Yeah. David Ruffin.
We love
Okay.
him.
Yeah, so I get to go do that, and then there's a movie that came out earlier this year called I think it was Diary of a Teenage Girl, maybe I think is what it was called. But one of the actresses from that is there, and it's interesting. Like, I'm going to see 2 countries in Africa, like in a week's time. So I'm excited. Yeah,
I'm jealous.
I might not come back.
I'm mad you're going to my home country.
Your home country?
Greece.
To Africa. Yeah, and then after that, I'm popping into Greece, but that's just for a wedding. I got friends they got friends that be trying to be fancy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's all right.
That helps.
Hey, that gets you to go on a vacation.
Yeah.
You know, no excuse.
Yeah.
And then you've been doing some great guest appearances too. I saw you on Masters of Sex, and you know, what's been a fun guest starring role that you've had recently that you really enjoyed?
Man, I worked.
Were you drugged on Masters of Sex?
Into having sex.
It goes back to that every time. Huh?
I'm just kidding. Carry on.
It was Master's first drug trials.
Yes, drug trials with a black man.
No, I just did Grace and Frankie on Netflix.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm so excited. I love that show.
Yeah, so I got to work with. I didn't get to work with Jane, but I got to work with Lily Tomlin. Yeah, and let me tell you, man, like, just comedic genius, and such a sweetheart and gracious, and like, between every take, she's like, not only is she insanely technically proficient, but she's also insanely organic, and like, you don't even see stuff coming. And like, a lot of times you get into a rhythm and, you know, you're doing a take and it's your close up or your medium or whatever, and like, a lot of actors that get comfortable, especially in TV, you'll get comfortable and you won't try anything new in that take. Yeah, she ain't do nothing the same in every single take. Wow. So you're literally like trying not to laugh. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? While she's doing her thing, and She at one point, it was my coverage, and she turns to me and she was like, "Is there anything that you need me to do?" And I was like, "I just need you to be Lily Tomlin, because you're a genius." So that's it. The fact that you even just asked me that just blew my mind. Like, this is my story for the rest of my life. But it was great. It was a great show and super fun. And, you know, the woman who created Grace and Frankie created Friends. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, you definitely know you're in good hands with great writers and actors and directors, and it was an amazing experience. Yeah.
Man, well, you know,
cool.
we're proud of you, man. You know,
Thank you,
we've
brother.
seen you grow so much, and
Thank
like
you.
I said, you've always been very supportive of the network, and we really do appreciate that, man. You were one of our first. And
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be fun to see you as your career keeps going, and you keep, you know, charming everybody.
Next
So,
year we're gonna be out there doing movies.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah,
right.
You
right
coming?
there.
Yeah, I'm bring
real.
me
But I
up.
do know
You
a show that we
there?
should be on.
Jesse and Yusef.
No.
Just,
That's gonna be his
First of
date
all,
on
We're not
the-
doing those kind of
we're not ready for those roles quite yet.
That's gonna be his date on the carpet. That's gonna be his. Oh my bad.
I just been
Hey, shots fired all day at you. Huh?
Like what?
Maybe I should have put y'all two next to each other. I should have put y'all next to each other.
My thing is, why do I've had enough bad relationships? I don't need to be in a relationship with a man with 10 children. He can't even afford to take me out to dinner.
and he apparently
Yes,
does
he
not
got-
know he's gay.
Hey, he got 4,500.
And he denied himself.
got
First of all, I've
4,500.
already been in a relationship with someone denied.
No, he got 450 now because he didn't get that to the other
Oh,
kids.
Oh my god.
We
my
should go
God.
on Celebrity Game Night, man. Jay has amazing game nights, and I'm just
I thought you
saying.
meant the TV show.
I am talking about the
shit.
TV
Oh,
show.
the TV show.
That's what I am
Let's do
talking
it.
about.
I thought we was about to
That's
get
what
an
I'm saying.
invitation.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
We
We
need
can
to talk
create
about
one
that.
right
We
here.
should do a show.
Yo.
Well, let's not put it
I
out there yet.
don't
Let's
play.
keep it secret. But that's what I'm
Serious.
saying.
I haven't done one in a while, but I'm gonna do one. My goal is, you know, the holidays get weird, 'cause especially in LA.
Yeah.
Like nobody's from
From
here.
here,
so
so
yeah,
everybody's trying to
everybody
go home.
disappears.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out like when's the time to do one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I'm basically gone for the next 5 weeks or whatever, 6
Yeah.
weeks or whatever in Africa. So I'm trying to figure out like when's the best time to do one. And you know, I say this every time I see you.
I know. We always,
Yeah.
I know, but it'll happen soon
Yeah.
because every
It's
time
so
we do
Hollywood
it,
of
it's,
you.
I
I
know,
know.
right?
We're like, I'm gonna get the
We
cool
have
kids
to
table.
hang out.
Like,
It's
we're gonna hang out.
2018.
Yeah, we're gonna make
Yeah,
it.
you know what?
I'll make sure he invites you next time.
What are you doing in January 2016?
I'll be here. Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
cool.
We'll
okay,
talk.
okay,
I'll have my
okay.
people call your people. We'll
No,
talk.
that's cool. Have your people call my people's people.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
Yeah.
got
We'll
you.
do lunch.
We'll do lunch. Yeah, we'll do lunch.
Yeah.
No, we
So where can fans find you on social media?
JAYRELLIS. That's JR Ellis. That's my Twitter, my Instagram, my Periscope,
And
my,
his hang with.
My hang with.
Hang
with.
with.
Oh, what else? What else is there?
And do you respond back
Do you
to
Snapchat?
fans?
My Snapchat.
Oh.
I
Do
haven't
you snap
Snapchat.
it?
I haven't Snapchatted in a minute.
But do you respond back to fans when they tweet you and all? You know,
I
some
try
people
to.
don't.
I go in
Yeah.
and out. You know, I go in and out. You know what's interesting is since the game has been over, I have definitely tried to like just have some J time. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And just kind of disappear. And I've been working on a couple different projects that I've been creating. So I've tried to have some me time. So I'm not so attached to this thing, and I'm
Yeah.
back to like being a human again. But
that.
I'm slowly like coming back. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wait, what happened?
Right, because you put me onto that hang with, and I ain't never
What
heard
dumbass
that.
thing
Pretty-
did Ben
Yeah,
Carson
right?
say this week?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you're busy and taking over Hollywood. You know.
That's
Courtney,
Wait, and tell everyone your Halloween costume.
I'm going as Ben Carson. Yeah.
I love it.
please take pictures of
Do you have a
everybody.
wife singing the national
I'm gonna be
anthem?
Ben Carson.
Oh my-
did
wait,
y'all
was
see
that real?
Yo, did y'all
Or
see
was
the
that-
picture of
Oh, that
like?
was real, honey.
Have y'all seen? Did y'all see the Direct TV thing with Ben Carson and the Obamas?
Oh, I saw.
Wait,
I
it was
saw
like-
the
it was
Obama part. I didn't know. Ben
It was like
Carson
it was a
in it.
meme, right? And like down the middle, it had a line down the middle. On one side was Ben Carson and his wife, and on the other side was Obama
Obama
and
and
Michelle,
Michelle,
right?
yeah.
And it said, "This is President Obama with Direct TV. This is President
Oh,
Obama."
you know, I did actually see the whole thing. I didn't realize it was. Yeah, you're right.
A mess.
You're right.
That was a good one.
It was a good one. You gotta check it out. Check that out.
I did read Gifted Hands though. When I was in school, I had to. I didn't have a choice. I had a counselor
Yeah.
that
It's
made
a
me
good
do
book.
it. Yeah.
It's good.
Courtney, where can fans find you?
I was like, wait, where? You can find me everywhere at Stuart Starlet.
That was,
I feel drunk.
That was real abrupt. All right, Jesse.
I was like, what?
Before I did,
That's
Derek,
that
did you know
GHB bill.
Prince is on Instagram now?
Yeah, I actually
Princestagram.
clicked on his Instagram the other day. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just make sure he don't sue you for nothing. Now, you guys can follow me at DJ Jesse J.
And you can find me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you love Walking Dead, you can check me out on Sunday nights on the Walking Dead podcast.
Oh, the pain.
Yes.
Sorry.
So,
Hold
all right,
on.
but everybody have a great holiday or Halloween weekend, and we'll see you in November.
Keep it safe.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.